I enjoy me some Dragon Ball content. Maybe not as much as I used to, but typically I still enjoy some Dragon Ball content. And what does the Sparking Zero have? Tons of characters that everybody wants to use. But I remember up until like, what was it? 1-2 weeks ago, we didn't know if GT was going to be in there. Thing is, I like GT. Well, I don't like it. I'm not like a pure hater of GT, but you know what I found in that time frame? And even today, people do not care for original Dragon Ball. It completely throws me sometimes. The beginning of a journey, like, it's the most nostalgic part. Like, I like seeing where people came from. Like, it's always been weird to me, which I understand. It's completely fine to start there. That people will just start with like just Dragon Ball Z. Like, Goku already has the gang. Like Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, Yajirobe. Though I'll keep in mind here, I did watch it when I was a kid, but I've watched it back now and it's still pretty enjoyable. I'm telling you, go rewatch Dragon Ball, but think in mind here that it's more adventure than fighting. Don't get me wrong, they be fighting in that show, but when you go back to that show, you'll realize that Toriyama really was just like a comedic guy, because they'll just be joking. There'll be like 90% jokes in a whole episode.
I have something concealed.
And what?
Hidden. Oh yes, I see. You have 2 balls. They're very important and they're hidden in your clothes.
Huh? Oh wow, she's right again, guys.
Young man, may I see them, please? I believe that they hold the key to your future.
Well, I guess so.
But I'm telling you, it's all worth it because you're on an adventure. Like, people think that Dragon Ball Z is supposed to be like a fighting shonen all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, that's obviously what it is now. People were mad when Toriyama made Goku way more like comedic, I guess. They wanted him to be serious like Dragon Ball Z. Don't get me wrong, I feel that. But if you go back, you know that Toriyama, that's literally what he'd be doing. There's a whole mission where Goku and Krillin had to get Master Roshi a girlfriend for him to train him. That's literally what he said. And the thing is, I just like the wonder of it. Like I like the small beginnings type feel to stories. Like, I like knowing they went from this to Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan God. I like seeing the build. And the thing is, people be talking about like martial arts. They be getting down. They have like, what is it? Like 3 world tournaments in that. Like, for me, my favorite character is Piccolo. He's been my favorite character since I even started Dragon Ball. But if I didn't watch the original series, I wouldn't have seen Piccolo be a villain. Like, don't get me wrong, they fill you in on what he did beforehand in Dragon Ball Z, just a bit, I'm sure. But the reason his sacrifice is so big is because of what he did in Dragon Ball. That man was a whole villain. That man's father was a villain. Come on, he Piccolo Jr. Like he's just a dog. King Piccolo a dog. Piccolo's a dog. I just like Piccolo in general. He's always been that dude to me. And I grew an appreciation because I remember I was watching as a kid, and King Piccolo, he doesn't come until like, I don't know when he comes. Somewhere after the first tournament, I'm assuming. Maybe it's the first tournament. It's the first or second tournament he gets introduced in. And I remember when I first saw that man, I started cheesing because I knew a goat has arrived. I knew it wouldn't be long before I see Piccolo. And up to my surprise, it wasn't even a Piccolo that I knew. And the thing is, everybody wishes for like immortality or something like that. Spoilers, King Piccolo, he quite literally got his youth back. Like, I just like seeing the origin stories. Like I like seeing the origin stories. Like, you know that Lord Slug, he grows very tall, he grows very big. Piccolo does that in a whole tournament. They're blowing up moons in the tournaments. Like you see that in Dragon Ball. All I'm saying is like a lot of the stuff they cover in Dragon Ball Z obviously is covered in Dragon Ball. And like, I think once you get past the part of expecting like a fight, I think you can really learn to appreciate it. One last thing about my dog, both the Piccolos. Spoilers, King Piccolo, after he got his eternal youth, he said, I got one more thing for you, dragon, because the dragon was about to leave. That man blew up Shenron. I kid you not. It's some of the hardest things I've ever seen. Like, he a real dude. Also, just another random moment I thought of, not relevant. I remember when Goku, he caught the 4-star Dragon Ball, because like the 4 stars, Grandpa Gohan gave it to him, I'm pretty sure. And so when he had a wish, he was like, man, I don't want to have to go searching for it again, because back in the day, he had to get on Nimbus or just walk there to find the Dragon Balls, because that's literally what the goal was for like the first like 20 to 15 maybe. It might be like less than that, I'm not gonna lie, but for the first like 15 episodes they're finding the Dragon Balls, and I guess he did it for a wish at one point. I forget what the wish was for, and he was like, man, I am not looking for this anymore. He looks up, he finds out which one's the 4, he jumps up, catches it. He do something that they don't even be doing. Like, these guys be moving light speed in Dragon Ball Z now, but they don't be thinking to just to grab them. They be letting them go all around the world. No, Kid Goku was catching them. Like, it's not some of the sauciest stuff. Like you be thinking about this stuff, and a lot of times they just be doing it in Dragon Ball. Main part is because I guess it's not as serious because the world's not like in danger. Half the problems that Goku has up until like King Piccolo are not gonna blow up the world. They're like regional things. Like maybe Red Ribbon Army's a tough battle, but like, come on now, they're not gonna take over the world. I don't think y'all understand. Dragon Ball is so hard to me. Like Dragon Ball versus Dragon Ball Z, it's a very close one for me. I still think Dragon Ball Z edges it out, but come on, give it up for Dragon Ball. Like for me, a lot of my favorite characters are in Dragon Ball. I love me some Kid Goku. I love me some Chao Pai Pai. I love me some King Piccolo. There's an appreciation to them. I don't know, like you go back to Dragon Ball, almost everybody you think is useless did something. You think Yamcha useless? I'm not gonna lie, he does kind of get useless towards the end there, but he's not like a joke. He's not like a crazy joke. Don't get me wrong, they still joking on him, but he's not like a crazy joke, if you get what I mean. Like it just be throwing me like that just speaks to Toriyama's writing, I guess, that you can straight up just start with Dragon Ball Z with all these random characters, you still vibing. Like he got the whole gang formed already, and you never question like how they met these guys, because they never explain it. They never explain how Goku and the whole gang's met, like this whole friend group, all these guys. Hey man, I'm a sucker for these things. I'm a sucker for origin stories, and I think that they deserve a chance. Like, and I know they're gonna have DLC for Sparking Zero for Dragon Ball, but it seems like whoever it is that makes Dragon Ball content just does not care for Dragon Ball. Apparently it's just not profitable. I don't know, because come on man, I want to use Grandpa Gohan, I want to use Nam. I just feel like they're just underrepresented. And also, this is my last thing on it, I started watching Dragon Ball with Dragon Ball Z Kai in like 2010. So in 2010 I started watching it. Kid Goku's voice, it sounds great to me, but I watched Kai, and once Kai was done, they didn't show Buu Saga on Nicktoons. I went and watched the original Dragon Ball. Gohan has like a different voice actor. It's Kid Goku's voice actor. That's always sounded weird to me. I know people like it, but for me, I've watched it in Dragon Ball Z Kai, so when I hear Teen Gohan now, I think Gohan sounds great. I think it sounds weird when he sounds like his father. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds a bit weird to me. Like in Sparking Zero, I kind of wish they just brought Kid Goku's voice actor for Kid Goku, because I have never heard Kid Goku with young Gohan's voice. If you get what I mean. I'm just saying we need to respect Dragon Ball more. Like people not giving it its proper respect. It's the origin of all your characters, and they be fighting too. What did Goku do? He went crushed all Red Ribbon Army. How do you think Red Ribbon Army got beef with him? Like, come on guys, they be referencing this stuff in the Dragon Ball Z, but nobody want to respect it. They say it's too boring. If you don't want to watch it, which I can see it being a bit slow, read it. I promise you won't waste your time. You'll be there cheesing with me. I need to get off my chest. I don't know. People just put respect on their name. Like, come on, man. That's Dragon Ball. Now, come on now. Find the Dragon Balls. Look out for them all. Thanks for watching.